Hey, Von List, what's Nazi? I'm gonna make you eat this.
Does Devor Height have such weaponry? I think not.
What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and I can't believe I'm making this video, but tonight we're going to be talking about a new roadmap for Season 2 Zombies, the ray gun that just got added in a little bit early, and how the Easter egg is sadly already solved for Terra Maledicta. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and be sure to check out our returning partner Manscaped, since they recently released their best package yet with the Performance Package 4.0. You can use this trimmer to get a clean shave in those hard-to-reach places, especially when your significant other isn't around to help you. The package features the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker trimmer for your nose and ears, the Crop Preserver deodorant, and the Crop Reviver toner. You'll also get some boxer briefs and a really nice luxury travel bag. Be sure to use code TWITCH20 to save 20% off all orders. But as you guys may have seen, we got a beautiful new piece of concept art for DLC 1 of Vanguard Zombies. If you want to label it as such, then I think it works. I mean, that terminology was a little bit off for Cold War, considering Firebase Z was DLC 1, Outbreak was labeled as DLC 2, which released a couple of weeks after Firebase, and then you all know the deal from there, right? Modern Totem, Forsaken. So we still technically got 4 DLC experiences, but this is a bit of an extension to the roadmap we already got for Season 2, and Treyarch did say in a tweet that they couldn't fit everything on the roadmap. So I wonder if this is truly everything for Season 2, or if there will be any surprises for zombies in Season 2 Reloaded. It's a bit unclear right now, but as you can see there on the left, we of course have our new map, Terra Maledicta, our new Zabal the Deceiver enemy that'll be on both Anfang and DLC 1. We then have our new arenas in DLC 1, Corrupted Lands, Eastern Desert, and Hall of Truth. We have new wonder weapons, Decimator Shield, the ray gun, our story quest for DLC 1, our sacrifice objective, and then Verkana the Last, featuring the Wand of the Wilds artifact that you can use for healing aura. We have our Artifact Ward Covenant, new Pack-a-Punch camos even, and they also mentioned dig spots on DLC 1, similar to the Origin side Easter egg, intel, seasonal challenges, new weapon support as well. So it's still a great roadmap. However, I don't know if this is really a necessary one that needed to be made. I'm glad that Zombies people out there are getting a little bit of love here with Season 2, at least a little bit more than what they got in Season 1, but it doesn't really tell us too much more than what we already knew. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. And at the time of recording this video, we also haven't gotten either an intro cinematic or even a gameplay trailer for Terra Maledicta, so I'm wondering if we're going to get one at all. Maybe one on Monday, right before the content officially, quote-unquote, goes live. But I'm just not a fan of how Anfang kind of threw us off a little bit, where the intro cinematic and the gameplay trailer were nearly one and the same. There wasn't much difference between the two of them, and so far DLC 1 hasn't gotten really any marketing at all besides some of the images and roadmap that we got, so it's a bit off. But hopefully Treyarch's next Black Ops game will have some juicier marketing for the Zombies mode, at least on par with what we got for Cold War, Black Ops 4, 3, and the games before that. But here's the big problem now. As we already discussed in some previous Vanguard videos, I knew this was going to happen. If the patch for Vanguard goes live 4 days before the season is supposed to start, what do you think is going to happen? Of course, people that are sneaking on PC are going to manage to play all the content early, spoil everything, and possibly ruin what could have at least been a decent start to the season with some excitement, with some hype. People going live when the season starts. I mean, now there's really no point. So people found the way on PC to boot up Terra Maledicta. They've already completed the Easter egg and seemingly confirmed some of our worst fears about this new Vanguard Zombies map. So I've always been a person to say, okay, the length of an Easter egg hunt doesn't really matter to me. I mean, who really thinks about that months or years after a map comes out? It doesn't really matter in the long run, right? I know it's fun for the community to get together and race to the finish line to see who can complete it first. I know the feeling. I've been there. I got 2 worlds first. I get it. But looking at Terra Maledicta, I mean, the hunt is already over 4 days before the actual launch of the map, and it's been done by people who have access to the map early thanks to their sneaky PCs. That's not really fair, and it's frustrating, especially when they come out and say the hunt took, you know, what, 10-20 minutes? The quest itself doesn't take long to do. It's only a step or two, and most of it's listening to audio. It's extremely similar to the prologue we already got for Anfang, which reminds me, right? Didn't the marketing and the blog posts as of a couple couple of months ago implied that Anfang was going to be the map that gets a main quest, and it was kind of brought to our attention over the past couple of months that the story quest for Anfang wasn't ready, but a prologue for that quest was released in Season 1 Reloaded. So we're all like, okay, we're going to get the main quest in Season 2, right? And then maybe we'll get a new map for Vanguard Zombies towards the end of Season 2, but the tides kind of turned a little bit and the narrative has changed where now we're getting a new map at the start of Season 2, which is good. I mean, the more the merrier, but the quest isn't for Anfang, it's for this map, and the quest is short as hell, and it doesn't seem like it's rewarding in any way. It tells you on screen, main quest complete. So people have already posted guides out there. It's so unfortunate. I know the frustration going around the zombies community right now, it's real. I really understand what people are feeling right now. It's really unfair. But this was really the last thing the zombies community needed. We're already at an all-time low. The morale's at an all-time low for the zombies community, and I can't say I blame Treyarch. I really can't say that considering the circumstances in which they had to deal with regarding Vanguard. I mean, yeah, there was a 3-month wait for an Easter egg, and it's somehow been shoehorned in as a 10-minute thing over on DLC 1. We didn't even really get a proper quest for Anfang, which is really weird to me. Now, in case you're wondering, no, there isn't an ending cutscene, there isn't a boss fight, nothing too special, and of course I'm crossing my fingers that this maybe wasn't the full quest. I'm crossing my fingers for that, but it tells you on screen the quest is complete. So with that, I think that's it for Terra Maledicta. People are going to have to wait until maybe the next map in a couple of months before we maybe get a fair hunt where people out there can all play at the same time and hunt with the same level of circumstances and same level of fairness. I don't know if that's even going to happen again. I think going forward for Vanguard, every patch will release like this days before the actual start of the season itself. But just like Season 1, any other additional content that was supposed to come to zombies as a quality life improvement has already become playable in advance. And the first thing here is the ray gun, the wonder weapon that I think should have been in the game day one, but the ray gun kind of feels weird here in Vanguard Zombies right now. It almost doesn't even feel real. It feels like a mod that was added in that's not supposed to be here. The weapon kind of feels heavy, looks a bit awkward at times, and it does some decent damage, but considering the way that the health works for the zombies in this type of hybrid round-based outbreak mode, it does feel a bit off. I did manage to get it to tier 3 as you'll see in the gameplay, and it does a good amount of damage against the heavies once you fully upgrade the damn thing. But I mean, if you have a standard ray gun, then hey, it's not gonna do much past like round 7, if not even sooner than that. It's really not that good. It might get buffed in the future, don't get me wrong, but you can obviously get it either through the mystery box or from random ground loot. It's completely RNG, and it would have been great, of course, if there was a side Easter egg to get one for free, but we don't live in a perfect world, right? Now, we also have a new covenant also available to use right now called Artifact Ward. I actually made a mistake in a previous video where when I was reading the tiers, or the rarities I should say, for this new covenant, I forgot to mention that although it is something that could help you on the higher rounds, when you get hit in the back, it'll automatically deploy your field upgrade. I forgot to mention that it deploys your field upgrade for free and doesn't waste the charge that you had saved. I thought it did waste the charge you had saved, so I was like, wait a second, that's not really useful and can actually piss people off in more cases than not. But luckily it is a pretty cool covenant, and obviously you want to get the max rarity for this covenant to ensure that it deploys as fast as you possibly can. It kind of allows you to have Winter's Wale as a bit of an effect if you have the Frost Blast artifact equipped, since if you have a higher rarity of this covenant, it'll then deploy when a zombie hits you, and boom, that could save you in some tough situations. So I like the idea of the covenant, but when I had it here in this gameplay, it didn't really do much for me. Even when I had a weaker rarity and got hit in the back a couple of times, it didn't deploy my field upgrade, so I'm not sure what happened there. It could be bugged out right now. It's a bit unclear, but hey, at least that's live early for those out there that want to test that out. But they've also updated the Pack-a-Punch camos here in Anfang yet again. It's confirmed we'll be getting new Pack-a-Punch camos in Terra Maledicta, but now in Anfang, the Pap camos are actually animated, unlike the versions that we had back during Season 1 Reloaded. And it's silly that it took this long to get a Pack-a-Punch camo. It didn't really bother me because it doesn't really impact gameplay, but still something that you would think would be available day one without a doubt. But it's, again, further confirmation that Treyarch just didn't have time to come out with this game mode, and it was out of their control to release this game mode in the state that it was at launch and is currently today. Now, if you guys are like, wait, what about server pause? I'm aware that during the 115-day blog post, they made it very clear to us that dealing with the Modern Warfare engine has not been easy, and server pause has not been easy to implement. And I know that might sound silly to you because every other game in existence has a pause button. Why not Vanguard Zombies? And I get that, and I'm not trying to say, oh, give Treyarch some slack. I mean, you know, treat them fairly and give them a pass or something like this. I'm not trying to say that, but in this case, yeah, dealing with an engine that they're not really familiar with, never used before, War and had to rush to actually get used to the engine to pump out a game mode that also should not exist. So there's a reason why server pause isn't in the game yet, but there was a really weird statement put into the patch notes for Season 2 where it says, note, server pause issues for Vanguard's dedicated servers are still undergoing testing. As always, solo players who want to take a break can pause while playing in offline or local. And I'm like, why even write that? Who plays an offline or local? Not many people at all. I get some people out there don't have internet. I get it, some people out there have to play local. I really understand, but it's just such a random thing to say when obviously everybody out there is concerned with being able to pause in online gameplay. So that wasn't even mentioned in this Season 2 Zombies roadmap at all. Might not even come this season for all that matters. So I would cross my fingers for this to come out at least maybe as a surprise in Season 2 Reloaded, if not the start of Season 3. It's totally unclear, could even drop randomly any day now. I mean, we just don't know at this point. But all in all, the reality here is this. Activision needed something to be slapped onto this game as a third game mode to justify charging $60, because if there wasn't a zombies mode in Vanguard, what would they charge for it? 40? You know that wouldn't happen. So what do? They got Treyarch to say, okay, I guess we'll help Sledgehammer out again and clutch together their zombies mode on top of League Play for multiplayer, on top of Year 2 for Cold War, and even on top of Black Ops 2023 development. So, I mean, Treyarch has just been all over the place, and it's obviously not their fault. It's above their pay grade to make these decisions, but I just don't understand how this game mode is supposed to set the bar or kind of pave the way for the future of zombies as we know it. Will there be much faith in zombies going forward? Probably not, because of Vanguard. You know, it's going to be hard for Treyarch to win people's trust back once their next game rolls around, and it's just devastating to think about because it's not their fault that Vanguard Zombies has to be this way. And I'm really happy that this game doesn't have round-based, because if it did, you just know it would have been underwhelming, it would have been broken, lackluster compared to Cold War Zombies round-based. So I'm glad that, you know, with the time they had to put this mode together, they tried something a bit different, and they made a hybrid between Outbreak and round-based. And to me, that's fine, and it works if done correctly with enough time, and clearly they have not had enough time to make something like this in the form of a hybrid, so it just looks terrible for them. Now, I'm at the point where I'm like, Sledgehammer owes Treyarch big time. I mean, Treyarch has clutched up for them several times now, and I would have been totally cool if Activision said, hey, we're only going to charge $40 for Vanguard. It features campaign and multiplayer, whereas we're going to put more focus on Cold War Zombies Year 2 this year. It's like I've been saying for months, Year 2 for Cold War is real. I mean, gaming scoopers even reassured us that Cold War will end up being the most updated Call of Duty in history, which has to give Black Ops 3 a run for its money, right? Because that game got 3 years of support. I would have been totally fine with them saying, okay, we're going to have Sledgehammer actually help Treyarch out this time and provide some more zombies content for a Year 2 of Cold War, while if you want to play a new campaign, a new multiplayer, that's where Vanguard comes in. Now, I think that would have made more sense in the long run, even if it was just more Outbreak regions, LTMs, different game types, or some other round-based maps that didn't necessarily pick up where Forsaken left off, but can cover some other side story or something else that's relevant to the current Dark Ether narrative. Could have even been the prequel story that we're currently getting right now in Vanguard, but they could have just released a lot of that in Black Ops Cold War. It would have made so much more sense, at least in my opinion. And yeah, you can call me the Cold War shill, but I think a lot of people out there would have much preferred Year 2 Zombies in Cold War versus starting fresh, losing all your field upgrades, losing all your abilities, and then having to work our way up throughout 6 seasons again, but in a game where, as we can see right now, just isn't where it needs to be. But you can bet your ass we'll probably get faithful versions of round-based and Outbreak in their next Black Ops, and we'll see what they can scrap together for the rest of this game's life cycle, if there even is going to be one. Will there even be 4 other seasons after this if Vanguard's performance continues to decline? I don't know, and anything is possible, but here's the thing. Their best plan of action probably was to focus more on Terra Maledicta, which is why there may have been a main quest planned for Anfang at one point that got canceled or got changed a bit and got moved to DLC 1. I think they probably figured, hey, why should we keep adding more to Anfang if this map is kind of a dead end for the community right now? Not much that we can really add to entice people to play the map, so why not just move on to the next? And that's what they did here. So I'm fully expecting, if we get 6 full seasons of support, to get 4 different Anfang type maps. Same exact style, with a hub in the middle and portals that you can jump through to get to other arenas, do other objectives. That's all I'm expecting for Vanguard Zombies. In a perfect world, though, it would have been great to get Outbreak, you know, faithful Outbreak from Cold War, but on the upcoming ground war map coming to Vanguard, or even on Caldera. That would have been great, but I just don't see that being realistic at all. I just don't see that happening along with any other LTMs for Vanguard Zombies. But I guess my question to you guys is, does it really matter how many maps they drop if they're all the same structure as their Anfang? Because the objectives themselves, they're all going to be the same across their Anfang, Terra Maledicta, future DLCs. I don't really see that helping Vanguard Zombies' case, because all maps will really just feel the same with a different aesthetic and environment that you can look at. Now, all in all, I get it. Zombies isn't in a good place right now. I really do hope it gets better, and maybe when the season officially starts, we'll get some more answers to our questions. Maybe the quest really wasn't complete. Maybe there's other content left to find. There's other quests left to hunt, and that'll entice people more to play Terra Maledicta long term. We'll just have to wait and see, but that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the Season 2 roadmap for Vanguard Zombies? How are you feeling about the ray gun that's currently live right now? And also, what are your thoughts on the Easter egg sadly being solved days and days in advance? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.